Hello, everyone, or all you two people. I'm gonna wait a few seconds for some people to hop on, and then I will get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Shay Frauman, and I am going to be teaching you how to use Flippity to gamify your instruction. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so gamify your instruction with Flippity. Again, my name is Shay Frauman. I'm here at Neesmith Elementary, and I teach 4th grade math and science. This is my email if you ever need to contact me, my phone extension, and there is my Twitter if you want to follow me. All right, so our objectives for today is, as a teacher, you're going to understand how to use Flippity in your classroom and ways that you can implement it into your instruction, into stations if you do stations, and extension activities if you allow your students to do that, or even for early finishers. Your students, well, the objective for your student is your students will be able to use this resource in class if you teach them just like I'm teaching you. So the technology standards for the classroom. So for the teacher, it's the designer. So you are designing all these different activities for your kids to do. When we go in, you will see that there is a plethora of activities that you can use for your students, and it's very user-friendly. And for the student, the knowledge constructor, if they are creating their own, then they are using a variety of ways also to produce how they are learning in class, and it's going to be meaningful to them because they're being able to choose what they're doing. All right. So again, if you have not seen the link, the sign-in attendance link, it's in the chat box, and make sure that you, and make sure that you check at the end. You have to stay here all the way to the end so you can get your credit for today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing you need to do for Flippity is you need to, let me switch. You'll go to your search bar, and you need to type in flippity.net. All right, so this is your dashboard, this is your hub, and this is where everything is to get started. As I told you, there are a lot of different ways that you can use this in your classroom. So on every resource, I call these Flippity cards. On every resource, if you look down here at the bottom, you see there's a demo, instructions, and template. Some of them do not have all of those, but most of them have every single one of those little tabs if you look. So the demo is where you can explore the resource before you get started. So if you're not sure what one is, if this little blurb right here does not tell you enough about it, you can go into a demo. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So if we go into the demo, you can actually play the game, and we're going to really dive into the scavenger hunt one too. That's why I clicked it. So you get to play the game just as if you were the student. The instructions tab is literally what it says. It is a whole page full of instructions for that Flippity. And then the template is the tab that you click on, and this is how you begin the process for that specific game. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start creating this Flippity scavenger hunt. So again, the template button is how you create your game. So click on template. And it's going to take you to a screen and it's going to force you to make a copy. And once you make a copy, it is now in your drive. So it is now yours. When you pull it up, it's already going to have stuff in there. And so because this is the demo that we literally just clicked on. So when you're making it for yourself, you're just going to delete all of this info. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. Do not touch the things that are in blue. That's no, don't touch it. If you touch those, it'll ruin your whole Flippity. So just don't touch them. Up here at the top, you need to put whatever name you want to put. So I'm just going to put webinar practice. Okay. So we're going to create our own. So I am going to delete all of this because we're going to create it and I don't want it. My computer's being real slow today. Okay. Again, do not delete the blue squares. So, oh, I need to go back. Sorry, guys. I need to show y'all something real quick. Okay. One other thing I need to show you is you can insert links, you can insert pictures, you can insert YouTube videos. When you do that, you'll see these double brackets right here. And just like I've showed you before, if you go to the instructions and you scroll down, some of the Flippity games are different in how you need to add images, YouTube videos, links, so on and so forth. So please follow these instructions. But you also need to make sure that it's a GIF, a PNG, a JPEG, one of those. And also one thing is you need to make sure that you have the legal right to use each image when you do insert an image. Okay. So again, when you do that, you need the double brackets, but if you forget, just go back to the instructions. Okay, so now I'm going to delete everything and we're going to get started. All right, so these are the clues. So these are like the questions that your students are going to see when they click on the lock when they first begin. So I'm just going to type a question in. What is 12 times 10? Now, you can have hints if you want. I personally don't put hints in there, but if you want to give that option for your students, you can put them there. And then this is where your answer goes. I'm going to do another question. What is the answer to a multiplication problem called? Because I do want my students to be able to type words as well. So you can do that. Okay. So down here at the bottom, you have 3 tabs, demo, options, and get link here. We're currently under the demo. Say you are done with your game and you are ready to check some things. So go to options. So case sensitive, sequential, randomized, start text, hint, warning, done text. So case sensitive, so I typed a word in my answers. If I were to have the P capitalized, and if I absolutely wanted my students to capitalize that P, I would come here and I would say case sensitive, yes. If you don't mind if they don't capitalize it, then just click no. But for this purpose, we're going to say yes. Randomize is when you, so say for instance, I'm a student and I have my locks on my computer, but the person next to me is also playing the same Flippity. The randomize will mix their locks up, but they all still have the same question. So I clicked yes on that because if multiple I wanted this to be independent work. So multiple students, they weren't on the same question. Start text, if you want to give your students a little message before they get started, you can change this. Hint warning, this is only if you're going to be using hints. And the done text is if you want like a little message. So I'm going to say, woohoo, you did it. Okay. And again, so we were under demo. That was options if you wanted to change some things. Okay. So we are ready to have our game, and I'm ready to send it out to my students. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the tab that says Get the Link here. Once you do that, you need to come up to File, and you need to come down to where it says Publish to the Web. So click on that. And there's all these different buttons, but don't click any of those buttons. You need to just click Publish. And then it's going to say, are you sure you want to publish this selection? Okay. And then this is going to pop up and you just exit out of it. Okay, so now I'm ready to get started and I'm ready to, before I push it out to my students, you need to test it just in case, because if you miss something, which I have done before, so from experience, just test it out before you push it out to your students because it'll save you a lot of headache. So you just go here to the link and it's going to open a new link for you. And I can click here, what is the answer to a multiplication problem called? And remember, I made my students capitalize that. So if I click the key, it's not going to let me through. And it works. So you can have your students, once they're done with it, you can tell them to click on this little ShowHide Answers thing, and it can show them the answers that they have already done. If you find that you do not like this, like I don't know why that there's 3 locks because I don't remember doing 3 locks. I thought I only did 2. So I'm going to go back to my my Excel sheet, and I'm going to go back to demo. And, oh, because I didn't delete these. Okay, so just delete all of this. And this is all I wanted. So I am going to, oh, also, you can have as many questions as you want. As you see, I just scrolled down and you can go up to 50. And if you wanted to add more, you can add more if that's what you desire to do. So I have fixed it. I have edited it how I wanted it. I'm actually going to copy this and move it up here. Again, don't forget that at the end of the session, there will be an attendance link, and make sure you fill that out. Okay, so I have fixed it. I'm ready to push it out to my students now. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on the link. It's a new link, so I'm going to exit out of my other one. And let's test it out one more time just in case. And it's here. So it works, or if I type in the wrong answer, it works. Okay, a couple of things that I'm going to talk about is that your Flippity does not save. So if your students are working on this and they don't finish during class, it will not save, and you need to make sure that you tell them that. So what I tell my students is to write their answers down. Write your answers down because it does not save. It's not like a Google Drive or a Google Doc or anything like that. So it does not save. Okay, if you don't like using Excel sheets, I have the thing for you. So we're going back to the home page. So you go all the way down and it says skip the spreadsheet. So if you're in a hurry, no Google account, you can just click this little arrow right here. And these are the only games that you can pick from, the Flippity games. They're not very interactive. So if that's something that you're looking for, this is for you. All you do is you just type in your words in this text box right here. So I'm just going to keep them so I can show you. And I want a word search. And it made my word search for me. And then, yeah, so there's all of these too. So if you don't want to use the Excel sheet, or if you're not good at Excel sheets, again, you need to scroll down all the way to the bottom on the home page, and that's where you can find it. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more thing. You're probably wondering how I push this out to my students, how they get the link. There's a couple of things that you can do. So, this is my scavenger hunt right here. So I'm going to make sure, I'm gonna click the link again and take this link, copy, and I'm actually gonna go to my Google Classroom and show you how you can post it in your Google Classroom. If you don't have a Google Classroom, this is a very good outlet to use to push things out to your students effectively so you don't have to waste paper. Okay. So I'm going to go here, go into Google Classroom, and you're going to go to classwork. Okay, and then you'll go to create, and you can say assignment or material, whatever you want to do. And you just type in your title. And then you click on the link, and then you copy the link in there and let it load. And there is the scavenger hunt right there. So that's an option you can do. Or if you don't have Google Classroom, or you don't want to use Google Classroom and your students are using it on their, they can have their phones or just a Chromebook, or if you just want them to write the link down. The link that I have is not very user-friendly. So you can go to bit.ly and you can create a shortened link, or you can go to tinyURL or whichever one. And you just go here and you say shorten, and you can write this on the board or however you want to do it. So again, I went to bit.ly.com and I just shortened my link. So this is if you don't have a Google Classroom. All right, so a couple of other things. Flippity, you cannot mess it up. You can't break it. So, and everything you can delete. So if you find something that you don't like, just delete it, and make sure you delete it out of your drive as well, because if not, then your drive is just going to start accumulating all of these different Flippity games. I know from experience. So I'm going to encourage you, if you want to use Flippity in your classroom, explore the games first to see if your students are going to be able to use them. And if it's suitable for your student's age. So I wish I had time to go over every single one of the Flippity games, but I don't. So look through it yourself. It is free. Now there are like ads and add-ons and stuff. So if you click on those, then you'll have to pay for them on your own. But this is a free resource. All of those things that were on there, all those Flippity game cards, those are all free. I'm going to see if there's any questions. And if you have questions, please post them in the chat box. Thank you for all the people who came. I hope you learned something. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see if there's any more questions. So I have not found where it sends me a report. So what I did is when I did this with my kids, and this is for Brandy, as they were working on it, I would go and check and make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. But I will look into that for you, and I'll get back with you like as soon as possible. But I personally have not looked into that. So your kids can also use this. Like your students, you just tell them, hey, go to flippity.com. And if you're having them create something, like I have choice boards, this is a great way for them to express how to do something. So the attendance link is now posted. So if there are no more questions, I'll wait a minute, a couple more minutes. If there's no more questions, that's all I've got. I'll go back here. So if you have any more questions after today, this is my email, and that's my phone extension. Please let me know if you need anything. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and tomorrow's Friday.